So you ask 1,000 traders. You go ahead and you ask them one very simple question. What percentage of trading do you think is psychology? And the average answer, if you add up everyone's answer together and divide it by 1,000, and you find the average answer is most people think about 85% of trading is psychology, which is very interesting because there are people who have stronger psychologies than other. You growing up, you going through a tough upbringing, be it through any factor, badgering, somebody put you down, some racist assholes, being physically attacked, being attacked by a system, being put down, being in embarrassing situations, being told something that wasn't true, being told demeaning things. All these things could have a negative impact on you as a trader today. But Mark, they already happened. I already went through all of that. How do I get by it now? What do I do? What do I do? Am I just screwed because I had an upbringing like this? The answer is no. The truth is, in my experience, most traders overcome the psychological difficulty over time. The traders who blow out and can't trade anymore, those are the ones who are gone for good. Eventually, people learn what to do. The problem in trading is everything is always changing. So on a week like this on the triple Qs, we had about a 15-point range. Weekly bars still holding up relatively well on the triple Qs. Now, look at the daily, a little more bearish, huh? So what do? Why was strategy ABC that you were doing over the past X amount of days, weeks, months working beautifully, and then all of a sudden your strategies do not work anymore? Why did that happen? Why? Can you tell me why that happened? Tonight's episode, we're going to focus on trying to get you back on track. The first and last time you'll hear it, if you're interested in anything we do, you want to join T3's #1 trading room, based in terms of the consistency of our traders, based in terms of the size of the room, definitely based on the testimonials. You can join T3's #1 trading service in the description of this video, and that's the last you'll hear of it. Now, to bring the value to you on the psychology side, I asked some people in the service, give me a topic. I'm all off the cuff. And I think we should also do one scam warning every time because people do get misled. People do get misled in this industry, and it's really sad. It really is. It's awful. Right? So one of the questions, the first question is somebody saying, no matter what I do, I go long, I lose, I go short, I lose, I do nothing, I lose. Whatever I touch turns to shit. In fact, Mr. Melnick, it almost feels like if you want to be very wealthy, it's very simple. I'll just buy one share of a stock that I'll tell you I'm buying, and you could short 1,000 shares of the stock and give me 10% of your money. And we have a foolproof plan for success because I am always wrong. Whatever I touch, I lose. And that's a very common problem that traders feel. Unfortunately for yourself, you're not actually always losing. You might be putting together strings of losing days, but you're actually not actually always losing. You're not always losing because if you did, we would be able to set up exactly what I just said. The problem is when people keep losing, is that the strategies that they're applying aren't meant for the particular environment. And what happens is a lot of traders, what they'll actually do is they will come out and they will very simply, try the same strategy over and over, and they get caught in the 4357 paradigm. What happens is they'll take a big loss and they won't know what to do. The first thing you need to do, and again, I can't legally give you advice. You don't have to listen to anything I said. You read this disclaimer in the beginning. Look, I'll tell you what I would do if I was running into these problems. What I would do is the first thing you should do is tier down to base size. If you're normally doing 3, 4, 500 shares, go down to 50 shares. I'm serious. It's not a punishment. You see, people have this negative psychology as if they're tiering up, it's a reward for making more money. It's like now that I have more ammo in my gun, I'm going to just spray and pray like some newbie virgin on Counter-Strike. And I'm just going to hold the clip down and it's going ba 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 and then there's no more ammo. What happened? What happened? The fact that you're making money is not an excuse to size up. The fact that you're losing money is an excuse to size down. Now, I am not saying that you shouldn't size up. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. We can talk about that later. I'm going to explain to you psychology. I have this fancy title here. I'm the director of trading psychology here at T3. Well, I'll be damned if I didn't have a good answer for you. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the negative psychological aspect is that it's a reward structure, and it's actually completely tied into your serotonin and endorphin levels within your brain. And you see what happens is when you make money over and over and over, you start playing the multiplication game. What is the multiplication game? You also do it when you fantasize at night, like you're watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians and you realize that Kim's ass literally cannot fit on your screen, even though you bought that 78-inch widescreen TV. So you take your remote control and you throw it at the TV, and the remote control just goes right through the glass of the television, set breaking your entire TV. And then you stop, and then you tell yourself, that was my stop loss. If I had to watch 10 more seconds of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I would have jumped out the window. That just saved my life, this remote control, and my miraculous aim at this moment. You see, ladies and gentlemen, people think that when they win over and over again, that they have to tier size up. And when they lose, what do traders do when they lose? They tier up. You see, the funny thing is, no matter what you do, you're likely to tier up. Don't believe me? Okay, I'll prove it to you. How many of you traders, when you have a down day or you're losing money, you start in future trades, some of them maybe, you start going massively heavier? How many people do that? Come on. I know I'm looking like, holy shit, is Mark talking about me? Let me turn off Keeping Up with the Kardashian. I think he's watching me on a drone or something. Let me explain to you the psychology. And I've been, running services for 14 years, been trading for 22 years. I'll tell you, you take a man who turned $500,000 into 20,000, blows up. I mean, loses 96% of their money, let's say, right? They're down to $20,000 from half a million. And that same person bills it from 20,000 to 30,000. Tell me how that guy's psychology is right there. Do you think he's sitting there saying, "Oh, I'm down 470,000 now that I'm at 30,000"? No, the dude feels like $1 million. The dude feels like $1 million because he thinks that he is on the right track. He made 50% of his money from 20 to 30,000 even though he's still down from where he started, and he's confident like beyond belief. How many people want an easy way to be confident again in the market with your trades? How many people want to be confident again? You see, ladies and gentlemen, confidence is not derived by the dollars you make. Confidence is destroyed by the dollars you lose. In order to regain the confidence, you don't need to make the money back and more of what you lost. That will come over time. Sure, that is obviously the goal. But initially, to gain the confidence, all you have to do is make money. So if you literally went down to like 50 or 100 shares, I kid you not, and set your base tier for that amount, like many people have like a default tier size, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 500, whatever it is, reduce it to like 50 to 100 and just scalp it. Just say, screw it. I don't care if I make $5, $10, do it. Do it for 1 week. Believe me, the market will still be there next week when you come back. Do it for just 1 week, and I promise you, you're going to get your confidence back again. Even if you make a little bit of money, you're not going to be stressed. You're going to be happier you're not going to know what happened. And then as you get that confidence back, climb up the step again. It's not a punishment technique. Quite the opposite. You ever watch basketball? You ever watch NBA? What happens when a player's on the court for a while? The coach benches his ass. It's not a punishment. A lot of times the crowd is up cheering, clapping, and everyone on the bench is high-fiving the dude as he sits back. He wasn't benched because he was punished. He was benched because he's regaining his composure and his energy again to do the right thing. The same thing applies in trading. To garner your confidence back, all you have to do is string together a few winning days. I don't care if you lost $20,000. You string together a string of $100 to $200, $300 days back to back, and that's it. You're gold again. Trust me, I know how it works. And then when you do eventually decide yourself to get back to your normal tier size, what do you think happens then? Would you rather be going back to your normal tier size fully confident, or would you rather go back to your normal tier size scared, devastated, holy shit, I have to make back this money? Tell me what you want inside your head as you're going back to your normal tier size. It was a rhetorical question, all having the same answer. So, somebody's saying no matter what I do, I lose. All right. What I would do is I would find the stupidest, simplest, dumbest strategy ever to execute upon. Seriously, like the dumbest ever strategy. Like literally the dumbest ever strategy. So for me, I did a broken one and done today in Facebook. I did a broken one and done today in Facebook. I'll show you what I mean. Well, it wasn't really broken. this. I mean, the exponential 8 wasn't where I wanted to be. This trade right here. This trade right here. The bar closed green. I literally bought in some Facebook calls, like 30 call options, nothing nuts, you know. I bought in before the trigger. It went up a little through the trigger here, went up a little, and I sold it for like, I think I made 20 cents. I made like 600 bucks, something like that. I don't remember the exact amount. I don't give a shit to look. Now, it was interesting for me because the platform I was using is too slow in the very early morning in order to execute a trade like that. So I was actually using a new platform, and it actually allowed me to do that. So it was a huge confidence, not that my confidence has been lost, but more importantly, the confidence was gained because I was able to do a one and done strategy, which I wasn't able to do in a very, very long time. Okay. So, I mean, I ended up doing it in Facebook. You know, it's been a name we've been trading recently and it worked. We're talking like just this is a 1 minute bar, just a little 1 minute pop here, just buying it right here and just boop, that's it. And I just chucked it. And it's not the point if I made 600 bucks. It didn't matter if I made $6. Point being is, and that's just one trade, right? Point being is it felt good. I would be able to log off right there if I wasn't running a room, and if that's actually what I was doing as a trader. The next is the 2 minute know your limit 8 strategy on Facebook. If you wanted to do a green takes red here in 2 minutes, you know, we called this one out, went from 283.12 to 284.56, 284.46. Facebook moved $1.34 within 2 minutes, predictably. Predictable breakout, meaning we're calling it out. The beautiful thing, the beautiful thing about these setups and whatnot is anytime you break a prior 2 minute high after breaking an exponential 8 on the names we give, you tend to get some form of scalpable trade. So even if you take these big Alibabas and these Facebooks, these $200 plus names, even if you take 50 shares and you make 50 cents, a quarter, 100 shares, you take 50 cents, you make a quarter, whatever it is, just to have the ability to put together 25, 50 bucks is a huge confidence booster. It's not the money. Please, I mean, keep in mind, I'm talking in a room. There are people who are making six figures a month, like consistently here. And there are people who are making like professional athlete money inside this service. Like I'm talking to those people as well. A lot of throughout your entire career, you're going to step into a rut. The market is going to change and you need to adjust to it no matter who you are. Okay? So you're saying no matter what you do, you lose money? I think you need to stick to ones. If that was me, which, you know, years ago I think every trader can relate to being in a situation like where you feel that way. Obviously, you're not losing money on every trade, but you're losing money overall. I would simply just find one stupid strategy. So take any name that was on my radar today. All right. And you know what? I haven't done this exercise, and I'm just using this as a random example, but here was my tweet today. All right. Be calm after 11, be modest, tier modestly, trade intelligently, and here are the 9 names on my 9 charts that I gave this morning. So let's go over them and let's see if we could devise a strategy for you right now. Take a little bit of I mean, it works on options too, but common stock is easier to trade than options in most scenarios. And I know maybe, some of you are not going to be comfortable trading Amazon common or Tesla common. I'm not. I don't even like trading common on Nvidia. On these names, I'm more prone to do. I could do common, but I mean, I prefer trading option calls on those names. But for the sakes of arguments, let's use a 2-minute chart here, and we're going to look at Tesla. Now, here's my argument. Here's my argument. Every time you hit this, we'll show it on the one chart. Because I just want one thing here. Look, I'll show you. We're going to remove the VWAP. We're just going to add an exponential 8 moving average. That's it. Watch. You need a strategy. You need to get back on your feet. You need to prove to the wife how strong you are as a trader, to the fiance. Here's the yellow line. The yellow line is an exponential 8 moving average. This is from TC2000, also freestockcharts.com. Do not use a free version of freestockcharts.com because you won't get real-time data. Do not use a free version of TC2000 because you won't get real-time data. I pay for both, so this is a very familiar platform. It's one of the most popular charting platforms out there. Here's my argument. My argument is whenever you hit this stupid yellow line, if you're able to short through the next time the bottom of a bar breaks, then you could scalp it. You could catch your quick 10, 20, 30, 40 cents. On a Tesla, a lot more. So right over here on this bar, Tesla dropped 3 points. Just keep in mind what I'm saying, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 cents. Like, depending on the name, of course. You know, if you're trading an Intel to catch 40, 50 cents on an Intel, you're going to be holding it for a while. I'm talking real quick, right? And yes, I could see that it plummeted another 10 points afterwards. I'm not even talking about this here. I'm saying as soon as you hit this yellow line, short the next time the bottom of a prior candle breaks, and that would be right over here. You see that? That's Tesla. Now, why would you go short as opposed to long? Because you gap down. If you gap up, when it comes down and hits the 8, you'd go long. If you gap down, which Tesla did today, you'd go short. See? All right, so that's Tesla. You know, I'm not going to cherry pick here. And I'll show you what one of the biggest scams in the industry are too for gurus. So when you listen to other people out there, hopefully you're getting good information. But I do want you to be aware of the lowest life forms in the industry and what they do now. And I want to keep you apprised. So here's Tesla. Huh. Why isn't hold on, the gradient, the watermark. All right, there we go. Just so you could see Tesla behind right here. Now you see it's Tesla. Okay, 2-minute chart. We're on a 2-minute chart right here. Hits the yellow line, go short. Now let's go to Amazon. Amazon happened to gap up today. It opened up higher. Hits the yellow line right here in the morning. Go long through the next line. That's it. I know. It's about a $2 move, $1.82 or whatever. A dollar more, 88. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is, I don't think you're going to want to scalp a $3,000 name real quick, but it gives you the idea to make a very quick chop. All right. Truth is, I probably wouldn't have done this trade with common stock with Tesla or Amazon, just to be fair. But I do want to give you some examples. Okay. Next on my list, just to show you, will be Baba, Boeing, Square, Facebook, NVIDIA, Spiders, Qs. Okay. All right. So next is Baba. Gaps up. Hits that yellow line right over here for the first time. The next bar doesn't get above the prior right here. The next bar doesn't get above the prior right here. See that? You don't get above the prior right there. This bar didn't get above the prior. First time. Look. It's the first time this bar goes through, you catch your little scalp. You catch your little scalp. You could, if you're using our front run strategy and you're trying to get in a few cents or so before the trigger, that's good. You don't even have to front run early on this. You're simply, the way I would do it, simply market in, market it. I'm not even throwing in limit orders. I'm not even playing that game. I'm just literally clicking market buy, market sell. That's it. And it's crazy because this t-shirt and hat are the only thing I'm wearing right now. I'm like completely like commandoing this session, but you really could just like I could really just do this like naked at my computer every day. It's just the stupidest, easiest shit ever for somebody like me to scalp something like this. It really is. You simply go along, boop, all right, you sell. Where's your stop loss? As soon as you buy it, if that stock didn't go in your favor within 3 or 5 seconds, dump it. Like that's how I approach it. There's no like, well, where's your stop loss? Where's your take profit? That same bullshit artist who gave me a list of names told me to do that. It's like, oh, well, I'm not that same bullshit artist. I think stops should be more chronologically based or time based. I don't think stops should be price based. You think they should be? You're saying I'm wrong? All right. Why are 98% of people outside the Newsbeat live room failing? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. And before you say, where are you coming up with this shit, Mr. Melnick? This will be my humble brag of the night. Me asking the room, the largest room here at T3, if they're finding tremendous P&L consistency with my plays, and 3/4 of them saying yes. That's my humble brag. So please, I know, you might not be used to hearing what someone like me says. Maybe you even heard people, oh, if you don't have a hard stop in place, you shouldn't even be in the trade in the first place. That's the same asshole who's failing 98% of the people around them. Again, I don't judge. I'm not saying it's easy to help other people make money. But if I don't think outside the box and I don't explain to you something simple and stupid and easy, which is simplistic to grasp and execute upon, you're most likely going to fail if you're listening to this message. All right? Trading doesn't have to be complex. You don't have to be some Harvard, MIT nerd programming an algorithm. You don't have to be that person. Just a simple buy and baba. But Mark, I only made a dime. Beautiful. Move on with your life. We're talking about regaining confidence again. Boeing gapped up, right? Hits the exponent, hits the 2-minute A. Here's the first bar of the day. Hits it right away. You go long through the top, 257.75. The stock went up $1.13. And when these things go up, a lot of times they pop. You might say, well, you might ask a good question. How do I know when to take 10 cents or 20 or 30? What if I told you it just didn't matter? What if I told you bought Boeing as it triggered today? You were probably up 30 cents on that dollar plus move within 10 seconds. That's my guesstimate. You're up money right away. And I'm being consistent with what I'm saying. I'm not polishing bullshit. I'm not putting lipstick on a pig. I'm not telling you what the candlesticks look like. I'm not telling you if they're red or green. I'm not telling you why your gas smells a certain way. I'm not even telling you which girl you shouldn't have slept with last night. But what I am telling you is when the effing stock hits that stupid little yellow line on my screen and you go long through the next break on a gap up stock, making money is just not that difficult. The psychology, by the way, behind my rated R humor is that if I provoke an emotional response to you while explaining something educational to you, it's more likely to resonate with you. So please don't misunderstand me for some cockamamie, dark alley talk nonsense. There's psychology entwined behind everything I'm doing. There's studies all over proving that. Okay. I try to build trust. Another way to build trust, people try to smile and act like everything is good in life. That's the other way to try to build trust. And those are the people who destroy lives. 257.75 breaks, pops up, you make your money. Beautiful. Boeing, beautiful example. Moving on, Square, gaps up. You're waiting for the stupid little yellow line to hit. It hits right here. Doesn't break, as you can see. And look, I'll show you the strategy, and I'll even do a little print screen for you just to show you exactly how it works. We're using a 2-minute chart. We're just waiting. It doesn't matter what your candlesticks look like, you know. Look, the 2 minute hits right over here. Check it out. Right over here, the yellow line hits for the first time right there. Then the next thing you do is you're just simply waiting. When is the top going to break? 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 When is the top going to put an effing buy stop at the top of the prior candle and keep moving it down as it doesn't trigger? Like, there's ways to do this that are not difficult, where it'll automatically enter you in the trade and you could already be ready to market sell out with a click of the button because you know it's going to fill you if you have a buy stop through the prior level. And right over there, for the first time, it breaks out. And please don't misconstrue me. I'm not even insinuating you could be like, wow, you could have nailed a major swing bottom there and square on the 2 minutes, it would have gone up. I don't even care about that. Look, all I'm saying is the stock went up 76 cents here, you know, and if you're in our room and you're front running it earlier, you probably could have made $1.50 or two potentially. And keep in mind, you know, you have the holding power to hold something for 4 minutes. This stock would have gone up 4 or 5 points in your face, in your favored direction. And I am not talking about that. Maybe in the future, maybe you'll leave 10%. Maybe you'll start off with 100 shares modestly and you'll sell 95 of them on the way up and see where your 5 shares goes just for the F of it. Maybe that's what you'll do. It's almost like watching that extra 5 minutes of Real Housewives of Orange County. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe Melissa has beef with Brenda. Oh man, those women are going to go at it. Hold on, I'm going to watch 5 more minutes of this show. I know it's going to get good. I know it cannot be bad for 5 episodes straight. This is the episode where it's going to get good. And maybe you stick it through. And maybe you do something which most humanity cannot. But in this case, I am not asking you to stick this one through. I am not asking you to say, all right, I'm just going to sit here and hold this shit and watch it go up 4 or 5 points. I would rather have you be the person, Mark, I only caught 40 cents on that square, but I could have made $5. How do I hold longer? That I'd rather have that be your problem. Really. I want that to be your problem as opposed to everything I touch turns to shit. It's like, all right, everything you touch turns to shit. All right, here, no, 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 no. All right, this is the address of all my exes and my ex-wife. I want you to go there and shake all their hands. I'll pay you $1,000. Go do it. Look, maybe everything you touch in the market is turning to shit, but there's a really simple way to pull yourself out of it, and it's really right in front of your face, and it's so stupid and easy. And I know you're probably, oh my God, this is all I had to do. I'm giving you one example. I'll find you 10 others, you know, if you need. Facebook is the next one on the list after Square. Gaps up here today. Hits the yellow line right over here for the first time. Goes here. Look at that. Through 283.12, stock goes up $1.34 in 2 minutes. That is your day. And once you get good at it, you might say, well, now I want to do other strategies. No, you know what I would do once I get good at it? What would I do after you get good at it? What do you think my answer is once I get good at it? Stay with the strategy. And then maybe I'll tear up a little. And then I'll get to the point where I'm buying 100 contracts of Facebook, 100 option contracts. And I get this little stupid dollar move. My option calls move 30 cents. And I pocket $3,000 in less than 2 minutes doing a stupid little setup like that. And then my life moves on. Do you want to build? Do you want to talk about scaling in a real company, not those little small cap companies? Well, a lot of the little small cap companies with like 100 million shares, you obviously could size up in those, but like Facebook is thick as molasses. Like pretty much for us humans out there, you know, you could take as much Facebook as you humanly please without doing crap to the name. And I know right there, Warren Buffett is sitting there, you know, chilling with like two 19-year-olds, sitting there with a cherry Coke saying, I couldn't buy as much Facebook as I want. This Melnick guy doesn't know what he's talking about. You're telling me I could put 1% of my assets or $30 billion in Facebook and it wouldn't move? Chill, Warren. Chill. We're talking to us humans out there. That's Facebook. Next on my list is NVIDIA. All right. Hits it right away. The 2-minute hits right away. And now you have to wait for the break of the next 2-minute bar. What does that actually look like? And remember, I'm not cherry picking. I'm literally giving you the list of names I tweeted out this morning, whether they work, whether they failed. I'm sure one of them didn't look too great so far, and that's fine. So look, the exponentially hits right over there for the first time on the first 2-minute bar. That's the first bar of the day, the first 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard to 9:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Now what do you do next? You just wait for the next breakout. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Didn't happens right there. Look at that. And again, I am not even insinuating that you have some magical holding power because let's be honest, you're like you have ADHD. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I know most of you know. Holy shit, Mark is talking to me. Is he behind me? Get out of my room, Mark. I know you want to take the money real quickly. But Mark, I got my winners short and I let my losers ride. That's my problem. Well, guess what? You don't have to do either. You don't have to let your winners ride. You definitely don't have to let your losers ride. Here's NVIDIA. And by the way, think about the companies I'm using for you as examples today. Tesla, was that? I'll take a guess right now at Tesla's market cap. Let's see how close I could get. Just guessing. 630 billion. I don't know. I made that up. Maybe over half a trillion. Amazon, over a trillion. Baba, hundreds of billions. Boeing, hundreds of billions. Square, I don't know, 100 billion. I don't know. Facebook, hundreds of billions. Nvidia, over 100 billion. We're talking I'm showing you real names here, like real companies, which are, for humanoids, infinitely scalable. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you a little known name known as the Spiders. Nobody's ever heard of this shit before. Trust me. Nobody's ever heard of it. It's something new. Okay. So what happened today in the Spiders? What happened today in the Spiders? What happened today in the Spiders? I'll show you. And then we'll always give you a guru scam, what to watch out for. And again, at the end of the day, you don't have to sign up for this service if you don't want, but I do want to bring you as much value as I can. I do know there will be a lot more value inside the service, and we'll leave that up to you. And no, I will not tell you how to sign up because I already did it and promised you I'd do it once. So the exponential spiders gap down today, right? Right. See it? See this gap down today? That bar is the first bar of the day down there. Okay. Hits the yellow line right there for the first time on the 2-minute. Now you're looking for the next time it breaks a prior 2-minute low. Doesn't happen there. Oh, happens right over here. On the spiders. On the spiders. The spiders dropped 30 cents. Now, look, just to be fair, I mean, the bars in the spiders aren't that huge. And again, it's scalpable. I am not even insinuating. I'm not even saying, well, after you shorted it with any moderation of a stop, you could have wrote that down because after you shorted it, it put in 4 red bars in the road and pretty much collapsed upon itself like Janet Jackson's nipple. That was it. It was done. But I'm not insinuating that you wrote it that long. okay? I'm not insinuating that you rode it that long. I'm saying it dropped here. You could catch a little scalp in the spiders. You're trading futures, Hope. You're trading futures, brother. You have a nice little smooth scalp right there. Triple Qs. Let's go over that today. The triple Qs was kind of weird because it gapped down 8 cents. Now, as a generalization, when you have a gap that small, I ignore it. I don't consider that a real gap up or gap down in all fairness. Okay. But just to be consistent, the Qs did open up 8 cents lower. It hits the exponential 8 right here, and it gives you a little 20-cent short trade right there. Right back to the exponential 8. Short right here. Some of you are like, Mark, why not short right here and put a stop here and just ride that bitch all the way down? Look, I'm not going to tell you how to handle your triple Qs. If you need to keep that in check, you can keep that in check. For me, it's a scalpable trade. So before you say everything is failing for you, just remember there are very simple strategies in which you can use that you can execute and potentially make money on. Okay. Another trader saying that old habits are coming back in a choppy environment. How do you get how do you get through that? And I want to also talk about, because I think these two are related. Somebody says, how do you stay smart after a big loss and not size up? Because a lot of traders start really sizing up after they take a loss. It's very common. You want to know my thoughts? And I'm not Captain Hindsighting you. If that is you, literally change your tier size down. Why? Because you're never going to be in a big loss in the first place. If you're used to doing 1,000 shares, go down to 200. If you're used to doing 100 shares, go down to 10, 20. I kid you not. It'll make such a difference in your game. Because think about it. Traders, the only time they're going to do well is when they have the confidence in their abilities. And if that confidence was rightfully lost based on the market taking it away from you, you can easily regain that confidence by taking smaller size. If you tear down early, you're never going to dig yourself a big hole to begin with to start sizing up with. You're not going to have old habits coming back because you're not going to be in survival mode. You see, old habits come back based on a very ancient part of the human brain. It's one of the first things the human brain has evolved. You ever see, like, we used to look like apes. Like, literally, like, people say we've evolved from apes. Those were our ancestors. So, what is it called? The human. What is wrong with Google? Holy shit. Do you see this? I. I type in human and I hit space. And you know what they showed me? Hold on. I type in human and I hit space. Human centipede. Are you kidding me? I was going to be like the human evolutionary chart. Holy shit. So if it's like, I didn't watch the movie, I snorted that movie. I watched it so many times. And all right, so yeah, I mean, this is like how our skulls and everything have changed over time. So what happened was our brains have literally evolved, evolved. And what happens is the the back of our skulls, if you see right here, literally grew out further and further and further to hold a larger brain. Our brains increased. And what you'll notice is our jaws, we had less bite strength as time went on because the jaw was able to do just, I'm not going to go into the science of the shape of jaws, but if that bit you right over here on the far left, that thing would take your arm off. That thing would bite right through bone, as would this thing. But as time went back, this thing wouldn't bite through your bone right here. This wouldn't. This wouldn't. We couldn't do that today. We couldn't do that today. So what happens is we're slowly, on average, getting taller, and our brains are getting bigger. Kind of interesting, right? So the most ancient part of your brain is actually the fight or flight part of the brain. And that's what I mean when I say primitive part of the brain. It was in the most primitive form of evolutionary man, like from apes, if you believe in the theory of evolution. That's where we all come from. That fight or flight response is triggered when you are in a very desperate situation. Now, many people are like, how, when I'm in that situation, not to get desperate? The real answer is at the root of the problem. The way you solve it is you don't put yourself there in the first place. The way you don't put yourself there in the first place is you literally tear down. You literally tear down to the point where you're not going to hurt yourself. Because that is how you don't tilt. Gain the confidence the natural way. Build yourself up from the ground up. It's not about the amount of money you make. It's just about proving to yourself that you know something to be green. Once you do just one strategy that you could just do and improve to yourself you're green, just like the strategy I demonstrated in the early part of the video. And for those, a lot of us are signing in right now and joining us late, watch the beginning of this video. There's a lot of good stuff. That's how you're going to prevent yourself from tilting. You're much saying like, Mark, how do I, when I'm jumping from the top of building to building, like in the Matrix, how do I not fall down and splatter myself? My answer is going to be, don't be on top of a building. As opposed to, I want your mind good as you're up there. Okay. Be careful. So that's how you stay smart. You don't. So really, the first thing you should do is, can't tell you what to do again. What I would do is I would tear down. Okay. Next, we have a question. How does like a girlfriend, a wife, a husband, a boyfriend, a romantic relationship with some other form of living creature, how can they help you in trading? And I think that's it's a very excellent point. One of the things, in my opinion, is, you have to understand that it is very difficult. It is very difficult to be for a lot of people to be in a relationship with a trader. It is very difficult because relationships have a lot of emotions a lot of times swinging around. First off, my thoughts are, if I had to make, if I had a couple come in and sit down and say, Mark, believe me, it's happened. Mark, how a guy and a girl came to me, The girl wants to help the husband in trading, they're married. What can I do? She asked me. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. First off, when you see him, just say, how was your day? Do not ever ask how much money he is up or down. Why? Why? Why do you never ask that question? Why do you never ask that question? Because if he gets used to hearing that question, he knows subconsciously that he's going to have to come to you later and try to deliver you a number that's going to make you happy because he loves you. So how was your day? That's all you could ask. Except any answer. Oh, the market was choppy. Like my wife does that. She's like, "How was your day?" It's like, "Well, it was really choppy and this and this and that." "How'd you do?" I'm like, "All right, she's digging now. She's digging." They ask that only because they love you, by the way. It's not coming from a bad place when somebody asks you these questions. But you don't want to put the psychological pressure, especially if you're with somebody who's trading. How was your day? Like that. Another thing is there anything I can do for you? At this point of the day, it's one-sided. If husband and wife are married and the husband's a trader, the wife should be asking, is there anything I can do for you? This has to be reciprocated later, by the way, at this point. This is after 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard. Afterwards, before bedtime, at any time, you have to find something you can do for your wife at your wife's request. For me, it's giving my wife a foot rub. Figure it out. Doesn't have to cost money. You don't have to buy flowers. Do anything. Anything. Okay. Um, have her prepare proper meals. What's a proper meal? Don't eat eggs. Don't eat bacon. Don't have milk in your coffee. Ah, Mark. Ah. In the morning, don't eat chicken. Don't eat rice. Don't eat broccoli. Morning, don't eat. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Mark, what do you mean don't eat in the morning? I have to eat in the morning. It's where I get my energy. No, it isn't. First of all, first of all, right? First of all right. Do you know when your mind is sharpest? You want to know how to get your mind. You want your mind. Could we all agree we want our mind clear and sharp for trading? Do you all agree with that statement? I mean, you want to know when your mind is sharpest? Every single minute, every single minute that you're closer to starving to death, every single minute that you are closer to starving to death, your brain will be at its sharpest state. It's scientifically proven. You could look it up on Google, but I'll explain it to you real quick. The human brain is designed when you're starving to death, the entire brain lights up. Like if you look, all right, we all know this is a psychology. We all know this is a psychology video. Ah, taking the hat off. Oh God, that's annoying. Okay. The brain goes into survival mode. And the way your brain goes into survival mode is the entire part lights up and it's trying to figure out anything it can do to get food inside your system. Anything. Anything. The truth is, it's kind of funny when kids eat breakfast. And I actually want to, because I have kids and they eat breakfast in the morning before they go to school. Worst thing for them, in my opinion. Because, all right, whatever. Anyway, so what happens is when you, especially when you eat, like my favorite what is your favorite thing for breakfast? Me, health aside, if I could have any breakfast in the world, check this out. A toasted croissant with 3 eggs fried, cheese, ketchup, salt, and pepper. That to me is the greatest thing you can eat for breakfast, taste wise. Now, let me explain to you what's wrong about those ingredients. We'll start with the croissant. What happens is, and again, I'm not a doctor, do your own due diligence. Don't believe I'm not a nutritionist. Don't believe one word I say. Okay? The bread actually creates a form of film around your brain. The bread actually creates a film around your brain. Now, eventually you detox this film when you go to sleep at night and whatnot, but prolonged use of bread tires your actual brain. Not only that, most people have digestion issues when they eat bread, and digestion issues doesn't always come in the form of a smelly fart, which we'll get into shortly. How many people, after they have bread, feels like they ate a bowling ball and they're just exhausted afterwards? How many people feel that way after bread? Many people do. I do, personally. Do you know when your body feels like that? A food coma. That's exactly right, Christy. That's the. At this point, I would consider that I'd consider that a scientific term. So what happens is when you eat bread in the morning, your body is literally doing its way of telling you, please, please stop eating this shit. Please, God, I'm begging you, stop putting this shit inside me. That's what your body's telling you. You have to listen to the signs. If you eat something and you feel like crap, your body is telling you, please stop eating that shit. It's not good for you. Most people don't listen to their body, they'd rather listen to their taste buds. The eggs, what happens is when you wake up in the morning, there's a lot of bacteria that were proliferating during the night. Eating when you're going through, what do you think happens when you go through an intermittent fasting? How do you think your body's breaking it down? Well, after it digests the food, it just passes through your large intestines, goes through that whole lovely, the dark slide of doom. Well, inside that dark slide of doom inside you, there are trillions of microbes, trillions, and it's breaking it. A lot of them are good for you. Some of them are not. And they're literally at war with each other. Some of them are eating each other. Some of them are eating your crap, and they're eating it. So what happens is at that point, the bacteria proliferate. They proliferate at that point. There's not a lot of things passing through them. They're staying in one spot. They can reproduce easier. You're not passing it through. Yeah, when you take a crap, why do you think it smells bad? The bacteria, yeah, I know. Everyone smells like roses and sunshine, but like that's why. And when you eat eggs, literally the bacteria, the parasites in your body love to eat eggs. Love it. So in a proliferated state, when you go ahead and you eat eggs, especially in the morning, all of your microbes in your body are thanking you. When in actuality, you're trying to starve them out. When you do intermittent fasting, you're trying to starve them out. They proliferate as a survival mechanism. Microbes proliferate as a survival mechanism. They do it to live. Because when you stop eating, they're dying. They don't have any food going down. They're doing anything they can to survive. They're panicked. And what happens after they reproduce? They can't find food, then those bacteria die. But if after they reproduce, you go ahead and you put something like eggs in your system or dairy, the proliferation increases much more. You eat cheese, same thing. Parasites love cheese. I'll put it this way, without getting super duper gross. If your farts smell bad, I'm not saying they're supposed to smell good, but when you get to the point of eating right, your farts are going to smell like nothing, pretty much, like almost nothing. If you eat any food and all of a sudden over the next week, yeah, so sometimes when you eat the wrong thing, it could disrupt you for like weeks sometimes, and your farts smell bad, you're eating something you're not supposed to eat. You know, in the tribes of Africa, a lot of the in the tribes of Africa, a lot of the doctors who travel there use them as almost like the blueprint for what you should do. They all crap 3 times a day. You want to know something funny? Their farts don't stink. You know why? Because they're not eating food they're not supposed to eat. So keep that in mind. You could do your own test. If you have gas that clears out a room, you are putting the wrong stuff inside you. Okay. Um, so when I say have her prepare proper meals, don't eat. Like don't you can have coffee, you can have water, tea, coffee, no sugar, no dairy. No sugar, no dairy. No corn syrup, no sugar, no dairy on any of this. For lunch, definitely have something for lunch. Salad is probably one of the best things you can have for lunch. I have this salad place called Mixed Greens near me. Yeah, you'll drop like 8, $9, but they'll give you this huge salad and you could put whatever you want in it. Go nuts. Put anything you want in it. You want to know how I feel after I eat a salad? Like I have energy to trade the entire day. I go ahead and I have a sandwich or something or like some big meat dish. That's it. I'm done. Like my head is just like, when is this day over? So you can have coffee and make sure organic, organic coffee and organic tea. If there's anything in your life you need to do organic, it's your coffee. There's one thing you should do organic in this world, it's your coffee. All right. Dinner, look, you want to have your meat dish, you want to have whatever, be my guest. You want to have bread because you need bread. You need bread. Friday after work, Saturday night to Saturday night. None on Sunday. Okay. That's lovely, Alex. Um, Also, I would say that is really the key for a significant other trying to help you, trying to remove the psychological pressures while keeping your brain healthy. All right. People say they're over trading. People who overtrade literally just size down. Same answer, just size down. If you're going to overtrade, you might as well do it with 1, 10, 50, 100, 200 shares, whatever is considered micro small to you. Now, somebody's saying they want strategies with longer hold times. Yeah, that is, it's sort of like, it's not psychology, but there's a psychology behind it, you know? The Kelly 2 minute has been longer than scalp strategy. The nitric oxide dump, which I told you guys from Dr. Mercola for brain clarity, works amazingly, Susan. Amen. Preach on, sister. And yeah, that is your dominating the psychology of you. Did you guys enjoy tonight's episode? If you did, leave us a thumbs up. You want to ask me any questions? You have any comments you want to share with me? Go ahead, put it in the comment section. All right. I love you guys massively. It's people like you in the Newsbeat live room and viewers like you which give me the ability to help people every day. I'm forever grateful for that. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow for coffee time on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful